Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with my amazing friend Jonathan, here to break down all these clues. I mean, I can't believe that these people have not figured out Chris, but to break down all these clues, I have Jonathan here. How are you doing today, Jonathan? And do you see defections, connections, and total perplexion with this episode?
I'm good, thank you. It was an interesting episode, and I think that you really feel the end game amongst them all, as well as it really kind of exposes in the challenge, which I loved, by the way. It exposes kind of the depth of knowledge that these people have and who doesn't, who does, with pop culture and other things like that. So.
I mean, personally, we're going to get to it. I did write down all the damn questions. I was like, really? Like 25 questions I have to write down now, plus the clue at the end? Like, that's a lot of questions. But I wrote them all down. And
some of them were
I knew
hard.
them all. I knew them all.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know a bunch of them.
There was actually maybe 2 I didn't know, actually, to be honest. But yeah, I knew them all.
I didn't know like a small handful of them, I would say. But it was interesting. And then we'll get there. But it was interesting to like I said, to see who does. And I'm like, anyway, the thing is, I'm like, there's no way Monet's going home unless it's guessing someone else wrong. So
100%, or someone else is the guesser and they figure her out, right?
Well, I just
don't think
that they will. I don't think her person's like.
Well, the final 2 has got to be Chris and Monet, because they both don't know who each other are, and Monet is more likely to figure out Chris than the other way around, because Chris 100%. Knows nothing.
I just don't think. Yeah, not only does Monet the most knowledgeable, which is made clear in this episode. Beyond that, I also think her celebrity is the least known.
But also, though, more connected in the sense that, like, worked with a lot of different people.
Yes.
So that she did say that she works with her celebrity relative. So she's probably been around a lot more people, and so just knows a little bit more things. Yeah. Like, she doesn't know that much, to be honest. Like, I'm like, I know a lot more than you do, Monet. And I feel like if I was her, I would just know everything about celebrity culture, but maybe because I'd be adjacent to a celebrity, I wouldn't. But I don't know. I just feel like I know so much more about pop culture than all those people do. What do they do?
It's shocking. Well,
what do they do? What do they just like hide from I don't understand how you just don't know something.
And at one point, who did JR said someone? And again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But JR's like, I've never heard of that person before. I was like, how? How have you not heard of them? Like what?
I feel like I talk about all these people daily, or something. I mean, I guess I do. We both work in the industry, so it is our business to kind of understand people, personalities, dynamics, directors, who they've worked with, like what kind of movies they've been on. If I'm ever auditioning for a project, I usually do some research to find, you know what I mean? So we're constantly being inundated with pop culture information, but doesn't everybody have Daily Mail pop-ups? Yeah. I don't know.
And it wasn't very specific people. It wasn't like, oh, this person just does theater, so if you're not into that, it was like these are names, people are very relevant in just what they do in film, TV, as well as just even stuff about them personally. I was just really shocked. Anyway, we'll get into it, but I really like the challenge because it exposes all of that. So
absolutely. We've got friends here. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's here to holding down the fort. She's reminding us that we are all spoiler free / Jonathan did tell me who was going to be guessing, so he spoiled me, but we do not know who they guess or if they guess it correctly. So we'll just keep it all until the end, until we watch it together. Joseph here. Hello. I'm shocked we're in the final 5 and Chris is still here. If this was season 1, he would be the first boot. I mean,
not for lack of trying, because they're trying to get him out.
In season 1, I think that there are more people that would know who his celebrity relative is.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, he'd probably be booted. Well, they probably would have guessed correctly. And I have to agree, he is playing hard. He does have all the clues and all the information. He needs that because he doesn't have the pop culture information for him to be able to excel in other ways. So he he's doing a good job. Now, what do you think? So at the beginning of this episode, Chris is feeling really guilty about the fact that he divulged Gabriel's clue to Carson and she didn't go home. And so now he completely broke her trust. So he goes with his tail between his legs to Gabriel, and Gabriel apparently overheard him immediately telling his clue to Carson after he says, "Oh, your secret's safe with me, your secret's safe with me." And then they proceed to have, I feel like, the first fight of the season. Like, that was like a breakup. They had a fight.
Yeah, they had a fight. I wasn't convinced. To me, if I overheard someone saying that, like, I don't, and I know it like kind of probably just happened the night before, whatever, but it just felt like maybe Gabriel had his suspicions and hadn't fully heard everything. And then when it was brought to him, was like, I heard that. Of course I knew. Yeah. But, we do see later when they like make up a little bit that, he was very like, my feelings were hurt. Like, and they're very honest with each other. And I liked the makeup just as much as I liked the break.
Right.
So it was
such a lover's quarrel, right? Because he's like, I'm about character, not strategy. And he's like you're a snake. I know you're a snake. I know who you are. And he's like storming away. And he's like, how dare you say that to me? Like, it was so dramatic.
Yeah. Well, you could tell feelings were hurt. And yeah, it was funny. I mean, listen, I've had those. But so we've been in those situations. And it goes just like that. So it was really, it was fun to see from a viewer's perspective. But I think Chris did the right thing in saying something, because what if he didn't and it festered? And like, what if Gabriel like really did know, and it would just make things worse potentially? And yeah, so I mean, they got it out there, and that's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. I mean, like, the fact that he felt guilty, I think that he did prove to me that he wasn't doing it just to immediately spite Gabriel. He intended on Carson going home. And so I think that it was actually showing that he was being loyal, using his information to his advantage, and that it backfired. And so he just didn't want Gabriel to find out the hard way. And so I do think that Chris's character is actually decent, and he is still playing the game, and he does want to win.
He owned up to it. Yeah. And he said, I'm playing the game. I thought she was going, so I wanted to get what I could from her. And, I apologize, kind of a thing. So, yeah.
But I also, though, felt as though Gabriel, he really didn't want to let him have, like, just like forgive him really easily. He like was so mean to him. And like, I also found that amusing, because like I think that they're actually good friends, and I feel like they will be friends for a long time after. Like, I feel like this is a real friendship. Funny enough.
Yeah, I agree. It's good.
So JR and Carson are now thinking Prince, or like what are we talking about here? Prince?
I mean, here's the thing. They don't know. And clearly they don't know, the person. So it's like they're just pulling at strings. They're still hanging on to that Billy Idol. I don't even think it's like to put it out there so other people like take a misstep with it. I genuinely think they're just trying to like, let's keep going with it. Like, what could it be? And they're just missing the boat with it. They just don't know. I mean, if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to say the name. They don't know. We've talked about it though before. But they don't know Donny Osmond. So like, it's what it is.
It's still wild to me that they're going to Prince. Like, it's just like, it's too far fetched in my eyes. Like, Prince. Billy Idol, I guess, is because it's the teen idol from the 70s, and so they're assuming that Billy Idol is being literal, I guess, and that because he's like a rock person, he's going to be flamboyant and have a colorful coat. But like Prince, even if it was Prince, it wouldn't be a colorful coat. It would be purple, right? Right? Prince is purple.
Purple Rain, yes, Purple Rain.
Have
you seen Prince's? I mean, I know Prince is deceased, but have you seen Prince's house up on the on the Belt in Toronto? Prince lived in Toronto, and I've driven by it many times.
Where is it?
It's the Belt, so it's north. Like, think Forest Hill, but a little bit north, kind of where Drake is now, his house here, and it's like Briar Path area.
Oh, Bridle Path. Okay, that's not
Like north.
Thornhill. That's North York. But hold on. Where did
north,
Prince?
obviously, not in Thornhill North.
You mean no?
Think
Yeah,
like,
it's like
think
he's
like
like York
Sunnybrook.
Hills and Bayford.
Think
Yeah,
like Sunnybrook area.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I not that I'm stalking anybody.
Oh, it's like directly on the Bridle Path.
I've
Okay,
passed.
yeah, I know.
I'm like, if I'm gonna drive through it, I'm gonna drive through the nice houses, and yeah, and they have like, yeah. Anyway, I've seen it, but huge.
I'm looking at his place on the Bridle Path. Right, I think it's him. It's saying 61 Bridle Path.
So anyway, but it's definitely
The
not.
Bridle Path is so fun to drive along. You're just like, oh, why don't I
Yeah.
live here? It's so
And for anyone who doesn't know, who's not from Toronto, it's like not busy. No one's like stalking these celebrities there, but that's like kind of, if they don't have like a place in Muskoka, which you saw that David Beckham was just in Muskoka recently, which is a couple hours kind of north of Toronto. You know, they want a place in Toronto. They have this on the Bridle Path. Yeah. So it's a bunch of huge houses that is just anyone could drive through.
Yeah, well, they're usually pretty gated and pretty far
Yeah,
away from
yeah.
the front gates, like the actual house. But the properties are ginormous, and like it's just so big. I do love the Bridle Path. It's very Toronto, very Toronto. I live like in near Forest Hill, so that's kind of like old Toronto money, kind of. But not people don't usually have. It's like old families that have houses here.
Yeah.
And Bridle Path, I'd say some might still be old money, but it's a little bit more nouveau, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like the houses are like fancy and new. The houses by me are like very old. Very, very, very old. So our Kevin Jonas is not going to be able to make it back to be able to host this challenge. So Frankie is going to be doing it on his own, and he is very, very happy that he is going to get his chance to shine as the host of this celebrity skill competition.
I like Frankie, but I missed Kevin a little bit.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, I like just the two of them together. I don't know. I think it's the reactions on, like, Frankie's just kind of like always happy, and like with his comments, and I liked it, and I think he got it on his own, no problem. But like Kevin was like, you know, just some of his like reactions sometimes and stuff. I don't know. I like them both together. So.
I know. I mean, I do too. Their dynamic is amazing. I think that Kevin is like playing guitar on tour somewhere, because I did see a clip recently of Priyanka like dancing in like the VIP area beside Sophie and like I guess one of the other wives too at their concert. So I feel like Kevin was there like, you know, on the guitar.
Yeah.
So I think he's on tour or performing places. I guess actually that doesn't actually make sense because this was filmed in the past, but he's probably still on tour. Different event. So they're going to have to do a trivia contest here, celebrity trivia. Now, I didn't really understand how it was going to be played out when they originally explained it, but as we watched each round, I was able to understand. So basically, there's a bunch of different stars on the ground, and the stars have names of different celebrities. And so each clue is going to relate to a celebrity that's going to be 6, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1 degree of separation from the clue of the celebrity that they would be fighting for. So it's one of the 5 people that are left. And so each of them is going to be like a 7, is it 6? Was it 6 degrees or was it 5 degrees? Whatever, of separation from their celebrity. Yeah, and so they're going to go round by round answering questions. And it's kind of also like musical chairs, that it seems like every 2 rounds, someone was eliminated because there wasn't enough stars for them to be able to find the answer to the clue.
Well, I think that was the fault in the game for me, because if you don't have the right answer, you're eliminated. But the problem is like you can't then go up and pick, like then you have too many of the right answers the next round. So like, you know what I mean? Like if you didn't get the right answer in one round and there's 5 people left, and then the next round, there's only going to be 4 answers of Lady Gaga, let's say. But if 2 people got it wrong, then there's still 4 answers of Lady Gaga out there, but there's only 3 of you. So I think they didn't show us some of that. And I think sometimes when they did, like there was some editing, because I feel like you couldn't just run and grab Lady Gaga, the extra Lady Gagas off the board, because then they would know that's the answer, right? So I think by design, there were probably some rounds that they didn't fully show us everything because you had too many people that were out with just getting the wrong answer. I think that they thought that everyone would get it right and that they wouldn't have to worry about that. It was just getting to and finding them first.
Right.
That's
Well,
what
unless then
maybe.
But to solve this, which would have made sense, is that, oh, I see. It's for the next question. They wouldn't have the right amount of stars available. They'd have too many stars.
Yeah, because if everyone got it right, then you'd be like, okay, we have to
Oh, so that's why there were some rounds that nobody was eliminated because two people were eliminated one round or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was messed up because of that, because they were like, they didn't get it right, so you have too many of the right answers still on the board.
Got it.
And like last year, last season's version of this was where they're running around the house. I liked the kind of aerial view, it felt like the challenge. So I like the visuals of this a little bit better, but I just think structurally last year's worked a little bit better.
I don't specifically remember last year's.
They had those like stars around the house that they had to
kind of
follow like paths kind of a thing. Yeah. And remember they went upstairs and went through and all that. But I think visually this was better. It was just
just have people that know more about celebrity.
They just I think assumed that was gonna. They just need to figure out a way how to get those off the board. I don't know.
If you were going on Claim to Fame, wouldn't you it's kind of like Jeopardy, right? Jeopardy, these guys are not just super geniuses. I mean, they are very smart, but they study to be on Jeopardy so they can have recall to all these random facts information. If I was going on Claim to Fame, knowing that it's about celebrities and fame and Hollywood, I would be studying up people's relationships, like who was on what. I would be doing homework as if I was going on Jeopardy. And so maybe that will be for the next season, seeing how this was very useful to Monet, but and how it was disadvantageous to Chris for the fact that he doesn't know anything about celebritydom. I think for the next seasons that people are gonna have to study because
I also
these are stuff that you can know. Yeah. It's not hard stuff.
Yeah, and I did like that it rewarded if you just have that wealth of knowledge.
Sorry, at least Prince isn't British.
Citizenship, yeah. Right. Sir Elton John. I just felt like the person with the most knowledge was rewarded, and that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. So I like that. Although the clues were more that they would give you at the end of each round were more supportive if you know who the person is to secure your answers. And I kind of like that. For instance, I might be skipping ahead, but when they were Chris's person, celebrity Claim to Fame, won season 9 of Dancing with the Stars. Listen, I've watched all the Dancing with the Stars seasons.
I wouldn't remember that.
I couldn't tell you who the heck won season 9. But if I was thinking it was Donny Osmond, I'd be like, well, I know he won. And I know it wasn't recently. So yeah, it's supportive, and so I mean,
I would be going to Dancing with the Stars for my homework. Be like, these are the people that are going to have celebrity relatives that are on
people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You would think, yeah.
People that have been on The Masked Singer, they're going to have their celebrity relatives on Claim to Fame. Yeah. Very likely.
Even half of them or something. Yes, some of them, exactly. So
I mean, I think that would be a really good place to start learning about stars
or people that you could imagine will be on Dancing with the Stars or would be on Claim to Fame. And then just think of different areas. Think of sports, think of entertainment, musicians, and just get a basic kind of what's happening and what's been happening. You need to study. You absolutely need to study.
I mean, what a fun study. That's a fun study, though.
I like Chris, but I don't know that you deserve to win because I just don't think that you don't have that knowledge to begin with. In addition to that, like I said last podcast, we didn't think that I don't think his game's good enough that if most other people would know it and he would have been gone because they've tried to get him out twice. So your social's not there, that you're connecting with people that they don't want to guess you, like Monet. It's they don't know who you are, but they're trying their damnedest to get you out, So I don't think his game's actually that good. But
But you
you
kind of
know.
need to have someone like him there, or is it just going to be like, well, it won't be a
Well,
steamroll, but it should be a steamroll because like they have
yeah,
enough information to be
yeah,
able to game the end game.
yeah. I mean, I like his place there. I like it. I like this group of people. I think they all serve a purpose for sure. But I'm like thinking like, and wise. I'm like, I guess I can't be rooting for Chris because I don't
No,
think he
I'm
played
rooting
that
for
game.
Gabriel and Monet.
I think I'm rooting for, well, definitely those two, but out of the two, there's just something about Gabriel that's like really charismatic that like grabs me.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Monet as well, but
Yes.
Gabriel is very, very charming. And I think it must run in the family because like his brother's quite charming as well.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's get to some of these questions, and so we can just make fun of how silly some of these contestants are for not knowing. I didn't write down who went out. I just kind of wrote the questions and then who won, which is mostly Monet.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really funny though at the beginning where like Gabriel just got really nervous because like now his clue information's out there, and then he looks over and he sees Mariah Carey's star on the ground, and he's just like starting to sweat.
He's like the queen of Christmas herself. Like, yeah. Listen, I listen to Mariah year round, so not just Christmas, but
I love Mariah, Mimi. All right, so the first question was actress who got her big break in the Twilight franchise and showed off her singing chops in Into the Woods. Singing chops with Pitch Perfect and Into the Woods, and that was pretty easy. It was Anna Kendrick.
yeah, but that's the one that JR was like, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. I'm like, was it JR? Or was it Gabriel?
Wasn't it JR? I thought it was JR.
Well, I mean, they both didn't know a lot, so it might have been.
I thought JR was like, I've never heard of her, and I was like,
oh, JR, I wrote it. JR doesn't know Anna Kendrick. I actually wrote that, so never mind.
Yeah. So,
okay. Which I was like, she's one of my least favorite celebrities. And that's probably why I know who she is. But
and there's a lot of stories about her not being pleasant. So like, but that's what I mean. I'm like, if there's that knowledge behind the scenes of like, her, but also like she's in like, a ton of movies.
I've not seen Pitch Perfect. I didn't like her in Up in the Air or whatever it's called.
And A Simple Favor movie that I did, she was in. But all like she's in a bunch of movies, but also like she's, theater as well. So to not know her is really shocking to me. But anyway,
like just some of the fact that she's so annoying, like just like how do you not know who she is? She's also, I mean, she hasn't been on, I think it was Twitter, but she used to have a big presence on Twitter that was really, really annoying. It was like for how I feel about her is like her personality was like always putting herself down and like in a way that I'm like, I don't actually believe that you're that person. I feel like you're putting on an act of being like so self-deprecating and so like so girl next door. It's so relatable. I just felt it was super fake. So
yeah, she's not known for being nice. So, but like you would think that like some of that would get around. I mean, I guess he's just like, just not what he's.
Is this a joke? Sorry, Mr. Johnson. No, not my girl Andrew Kendrick having a bad reputation. Wow, Anna not pleasant. I could believe that. Yeah, definitely. She doesn't have like a softness in her vibe, in my opinion. Listen, I've never watched Pitch Perfect though.
There's some rabbit holes that you can dig deep into, and I don't think I've seen anything online that isn't true about Anna Kendrick from like. So I'm just saying, from what I've heard, just saying.
So the next question is, Anna Kendrick voices Poppy in Trolls and also starred this former No Doubt bandmate. And I'm like, there's nobody else. Like, I mean, I don't know this, but like the only person from No Doubt whose name I actually know would be Gwen Stefani.
I can picture their faces, the rest of them, but.
And the guy that she used to date, the Indian guy?
Yeah, but I don't know their names. So it'd be like, 100% Gwen.
So Gwen was correct. So Gwen is married to this country music star that she met on a popular competition show. This was also really easy, in my opinion.
Yes.
Blake Shelton.
I don't even watch The
I don't
Voice.
even watch The Voice.
Yeah,
Me neither. My mom is always like, "Oh my god, did you watch The Voice?" I'm like, "Sorry, mom. I know that I've gotten you onto reality TV, but The Voice is not one that I watch. The Voice and MasterChef are the two that I just have never gotten into."
Listen, and I've watched seasons. I've watched seasons of The Voice, but I'm like consistently, I do not watch The Voice. I'll watch like when Kelly first got on it, maybe one of her other Kelly Clarkson, another of her seasons I watched.
Yeah, I watched a season where Christina Aguilera was giving some teaching lessons.
When Blake was being overly flirty with Gwen and yet still married to Miranda, I did watch that season. Yeah, Chris.
I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons, like just very early seasons. Very early. Reba McEntire is going to host The Voice next season. I may tune in for her.
She guests on it as like a mentor or whatever. But I love Reba.
I just don't know if it's going to pull me in though. Like I stopped watching American Idol like 10 years ago.
But Blake retired and it was last season, so I did watch it. And you know, he kept saying it every single episode, and so it makes sense because she's guest, and they'll want someone who's country. You know, they need that. So I much prefer Reba over Blake.
For sure.
And I love Reba McEntire, so I'm not mad at it.
Well, Gabriel and Chris did not get this right, so they're out this round. Blake Shelton was a longtime coach on The Voice with this tattoo frontman of this popular male band. This popular band. Obviously, we know who that is. It's Adam Levine, Maroon 5, and I was like, I don't even know any of their songs. Except for like "Got the Moves" like Jagger.
Oh,
I think I've seen one concert. Oh yeah, I've seen his concert though. Like I don't know his songs really. I'm not a fan of him personally.
Yeah.
But I used to work at MLSE, which is like it basically does all like the event spaces. So at the what are they called now? Not the Sky Dome, like the Rogers Center is what it's called now, I think. Yep. So I would work like and serve drinks there, but like when there's people are in watching the concert, I can go in and watch the concert. So he was there before COVID, and I did go in and see him sing a couple songs.
And him and Blake were OGs of The Voice, and he was on it, and they had this like fun rivalry kind of thing, and he was on it like the longest outside of Blake. So, but yeah, it's pretty obvious, you know, even without watching him. But yeah.
So Maroon 5 featured this female Indy car racer in their music video, Girls Like You. I mean, I didn't know, but I assumed when I saw Danica Patrick as one of the stars, I was like, I guess so, because she's probably like a pretty woman that's a race car driver, and like maybe I'd recognize her if I saw the video. You know what I mean? But so I would have guessed her anyways, because I don't think there was any other female Indy race car drivers
on the board. Yeah.
So Carson does win this first round, and so she gets the clue, and she believes it's actually her clue, with Danica being the last star related to the clue star. And so her clue is that she was able to keep to herself is Danica Patrick has a podcast which features Carson's relative who spoke about his career and his late father. So this tells me that it's a junior, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the major part to it, because like being on Danica's podcast, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I listened to that, I know exactly who that was. So that was the main giveaway to it, but yeah.
So next round, wait, is Chris' clue just okay? I wrote down, I was just like so annoyed about people not knowing all this information. I wrote down, is Chris's clue just gonna say Donny Osmond?
Starts with a D, ends with an Ani.
Like, and then be like, so do I scramble this? Like, what is this? Maybe Donnie Wahlberg? Is he related to like give them the exact answer and then be like,
he never had a coat. He never had a coat. No.
like they could put Marie Osmond as one of the clues on the board, and they'll be like, what? Oh man, these people. Okay, round 2. So this Grammy-winning Latin music star calls himself Mr. Worldwide. I didn't know this one.
Oh, Mr.
But
yeah,
Pitbull, I would have seen it on the board, like, and I'd be like, oh, it has to be Pitbull.
In my 20s, I was obsessed with Pitbull, and I would sing some of it right now, but I would need to bleep me out. But yeah.
Well, there's one song that I liked of Pitbull's that I remember in like 2008 was really popular.
Kulo? No, wait. No,
What's Hulo? Sing it.
no, Kulo.
Kulo?
That means bum.
Oh, yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was in my 20s, listening to Pitbull, windows down kind of a person. So
you're
I'm
like, let me.
obsessed with Pitbull.
Oh
Obsessed
my
with
God!
Pitbull.
Like, I
For
need.
like 10 years of my life, I was obsessed with Pitbull.
Let me see some of his songs because I just need to remember, just like the one song that I really liked of his back in the day.
So many.
Did he do the? Oh, is it Fuego? Is that one I liked?
Cool. There was his album. Oh God, what was the album called?
Hold on, let's do hit songs.
It's been a while. I have some of his CDs still, I'm sure.
CDs. Oh, Timber. It's Timber. And is that's the fires burning on the dance floor? Is that him too?
Yeah.
Timber, I liked. Whatever that fire burning on the dance floor.
And he was also featured on like so many people's
absolutely,
as well, in addition to his own. But like good albums. Like I stand behind it.
Well, at that time I worked at, it was called Winston Churchill's complex, and so there's 3 floors. So the bottom floor was a mega pub, so it had like 10 bars, a dance floor, DJ, but it was like pub style. And then the next floor is the floor that I generally worked on, and it had like the live band, so it was like called Winnie's, which is like the old person floor. And then upstairs was Karina's, which was like the club. And so on Tuesdays I would work at 250 Tuesdays, and I'd work downstairs at the mega pub, and that's where I would dance on the bar to Pitbull while pouring shots in people's mouth. Fireball, if that was him. Okay, anyways, Pitbull sang On the Floor with this actress and musical icon from the Bronx. They didn't have to put from the Bronx. Like, they give so much information. You could just say with this actress and musician.
Yeah. No, they give it a lot away. Yeah.
That's another song that I really like. It's kind of cheesy, but like it gets me kind of hype.
Get on the floor.
Get on.
Eat it up, yeah.
Anyways, I like that song. I'll be dancing to that if it came on at an event or club. So Gabriel gets out on this one. He wasn't able to find. Oh, he probably couldn't get to J-Lo fast enough. Next question is J-Lo in the Marry Me with this Academy Award nominated actor. I mean, I just knew who was in this, so
this one I wouldn't know. I don't watch those types of films. So I would
see all. It was so annoying.
I mean, I honestly, if I saw his name, I would have picked it up.
Yeah,
because I would assume this is Zumba class. I would assume that it was them, and I could picture them in movies together. I feel like
you don't remember how annoying the trailers were, and like Marry Me was also.
I know because I don't watch. I would never watch a movie.
No, but like okay, so the I haven't seen the movie obviously, but it was like she was a celebrity or something, and then she falls in love with like a civilian. But it was like one of those. It was a really really bad trailer.
They're all the same to me when it's like that, or like wasn't she like a wedding photographer in another one? Like they're all the same.
The wedding planner.
The wedding planner, sure, whatever. And you know what? There's probably another one where she was the wedding photographer. Like it's all the same.
I haven't seen any of them, to be honest. I might have seen the wedding planner.
I've seen the
but
too, yeah.
They are not my type of films.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'd watch it if it was on the plane. Ugh. You know,
so this one I didn't know, but if I saw the name on the ground, I would have picked that up.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So JR is out here. So Owen Wilson starred in Zoolander 2 with this Doctor Strange star. And I was like, well, say Doctor Strange. The only person that I know that's in Doctor Strange is Benedict Cumberbatch. Wow. So I got that. I'm assuming you did too.
Yeah.
And so Chris is out here. But Benedict Cumberbatch was the voice of the Grinch in an animated adaptation, which also starred the longest-running SNL cast member. So Monet thinks it's her clue at this point. And the answer is Kenan Thompson. I don't know if I would know this, but I would know. I'd have an idea from the board.
Yeah, I'm a SNL fan, so it's by like hands down. Kenan Thompson, I think, was birthed at SNL. Like he's just been there for so long. I mean, I think the guy who used to do Hammond, what's his name? But he used to do the voice of like Bill Clinton. He was on it for quite a long time as well. But Keenan's like, yeah, by far, like especially now. So I would have known it just from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. I would know, but it would be because I would see nobody else on SNL as one of the stars.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't see the Grinch adaptation. Like I don't
Yeah,
know what that is.
with as many names and questions as there were, I don't know that there was chances for there to be like a lot of red herrings, which I would have wished for a little bit more.
100%.
When they picked up stuff like with the wrong answer, there were usually people who like were answers to other questions, and they
Absolutely.
weren't even.
I know
close.
we're not even close. Exactly.
Like they weren't even the right. You know, they were like picking up guys for girl questions. Like you know what I mean? Like so, I wanted more red herrings, but I just think there's so many questions that they couldn't even fit them.
Well, they needed to then have made, I guess, more things overlap. Maybe would have been
right.
Maybe I don't know how to solve it.
They need to like work that a little bit, yeah. Because I wanted to
workshop it.
Yeah.
So Kenan Thompson was a cast member on the TV show All That, along with Gabriel's relative, who joined the cast in the late '90s. Like that is a real heavy clue. So that's the clue that Monet gets. So she thought it was going to be her clue, but it's actually Gabriel's clue that she received.
Yeah, I don't know what All That is. I've never watched it, never heard of it myself. But if you
isn't it the fry shop thing?
Which you had, and they apparently two of them have. So I'm shocked that they don't know, because when they're like, "Oh yeah, I used to watch that," like I think Monet and JR were saying afterwards, and I was like, "Oh, then how do you not know who's on it?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That if anything was like the biggest. I that wasn't a supportive. That was like the biggest giveaway out of all the. I was like,
huge.
wow, okay.
They literally said a TV show like that. There's not that many stars on. Like I don't know. It was just I thought it was pretty heavy-handed. So Monet thought Gabe was relative was a football player, and so now the fact that he might be an actor, and I was like, you guys believe that he was a football player? Like.
Still, anyways. Right? Yeah, yeah. If it's not working and you're not figuring out, and you're not getting him, and there's nothing really supporting that, like, wouldn't you have pivoted by now that it's like probably not what you originally thought it was? So.
Sorry. All That was a sketch comedy for SNL for kids.
Oh yeah, I don't even. That's good to know. I should look it up because I probably want to watch some of it on online or something if we can.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also Canadian.
Yeah, you'll never heard of that. I mean, it's out of my age group.
And I don't know that was on our. I don't know that we had it on TV in Canada.
Like I said that I used to watch like TGI Fridays, which would have been like Boy Meets World and like I can't remember other things. Family Matters and.
Oh yeah, I watched every Family Matters, Moesha, like all that kind of stuff. But SNL.
But I don't know what channel All That would have been on. My brother might know because he's your age, but he might have watched that. But
I watched
Nickelodeon. I watched zero Nickelodeon. Zero.
We didn't have Nickelodeon here, so we didn't have Nick and Night and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know who's from Nickelodeon, who's a Nickelodeon kid. Are those twins Nickelodeon? Sprouse?
Bull and are they Nickelodeon or just like Disney? I don't know. We don't get that stuff, guys. We don't get that.
So we don't know that. Sorry, don't know anything about Nickelodeon. Round 3. So this professional wrestler turned actor played a demigod in a Disney hit. I was like, this is also really easy, but it was Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
The Rock. So The Rock co-starred on Baywatch alongside this High School Musical star. The only person I know that's from High School Musical guy is Zac Efron. Do you know anybody else?
Like these are great questions for them. Like they could have had like Stone Cold Steve Austin. They could have had other people as red herrings, but because of the format of it, or even like the Baywatch thing, they could have had other people, but they didn't. And so you kind of knew what the answer was.
I'm surprised that they knew his real name.
Yeah, true.
The Rock wasn't down there, so yeah. That was impressive. So Kevin pushed JR, so she ended up getting eliminated. I think it was because he got on the last clue though, right? Not because she pushed him out of the way.
Wait,
Not sure.
How did it go down?
I think she was trying to get on the last available star.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh my god, like they're disqualifying her for violence.
They announced it like she didn't because what was the
because she pushed JR. He said push.
Yeah.
Actually, who pushed JR? Wasn't that from Dallas?
Shot JR. Yeah. Exactly.
So Zac Efron starred in The Greatest Showman alongside this leading lady. I didn't watch this. The only person I would know would be Hugh Jackman. So I might have, by deduction, just picked up Michelle Williams, but I don't know.
No, I never watched The Greatest Showman. Not my thing. I didn't know this, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have got it right. I don't think unless I just have to pick it up.
Who shot JR? Hilarious. So it was Michelle Williams. So Michelle Williams dated this Australian heartthrob. That's super easy. Yeah. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger starred in Brokeback Mountain alongside this leading man. Also really easy, Jake Gyllenhaal, whom I've met in person, not met, but seen in person. So when I moved back to Toronto, I was working at this restaurant called Patria. It's a pretty fancy Spanish tapas restaurant with a really, really nice interior decor. And it's a really nice room. And so we had a lot of really, really just affluent like parties and just eccentric, like it was just super like $100,000 parties for like 20 minutes. And so he was at one of these parties, and like he's actually taller than I thought and better looking in person, because I don't really personally find him haughty, but he was quite handsome in person. He did have a presence to him. Elle Fanning was also there, who's also tall, and Susan Sarandon, I believe, was also there. Yeah,
and probably also tall.
And also tall. Well, I know that she's a tall person, but those two were more surprising.
He's shot in Toronto a number of times, but I don't. The only thing I think the enemy he shot in like the Jamestown's apartments and whatnot. So I know he's been here a few times, but I've never met him or seen him.
Well, I have. So where am I? And so Jake Gyllenhaal was in Far From Home with Monet's celebrity relative. She says this out loud, and then Monet does get the clue at the end, and it says was in Spooperman Far From Home with Monet's relative. So she knows what her relative has done. I'm assuming it's her dad.
It is, yeah.
So round 4, this actor rose to fame on The Office, but has since found fame writing and directing an Oscar-nominated horror franchise. I don't know if I knew this.
Oh, I definitely knew. I mean, I'd never watched The Office, but I also know that the only person from The Office who's become a director and specifically...
What are they directing, though? I mean, obviously I know who he is and who he's married to, which was the next question, but what's the horror franchise?
Oh my god, I'm gonna forget the name of it. It's where they all have to stay quiet or else the monster gets them, and they go in the second one, live by the waterfall or whatever. He has a family with and kids. What's the name of it? Where they all have to, is it called The Quiet Place? The Quiet Place.
Oh, A Quiet Place. Okay, yes.
Quiet Place? Yeah. And then there's a sequel to it as well. But so he's the only one I know. He starred in the first one, not in the second one, but he directed it. So
I haven't seen that.
Like, who else from The Office is going to be directing something unless it's Steve Carell? So I mean,
exactly. So
John, yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily know the answer specifically, but I would have been running around this board for an hour. Like, I would see all these other names. So if I see 5 John Krasinski's, like, I would probably have picked him up. I wouldn't pick up The Rock for this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So John Krasinski is married to this famous British actress, Emily Blunt. It's pretty obvious, well known. Emily Blunt turned down the role in Black Widow Iron Man 2, which was directed by Jon Favreau.
Yes.
That would have been harder for, I would think, for people, even though I know who Jon Favreau is. Like,
Yeah.
He's not as popular as he was.
Yeah, he's
15 years ago.
not as recognizable actor who became a director and has done these things. But like when it's oddly enough, I think if you're into like Marvel and stuff, you definitely know it. But I agree with you; it'd be harder for most people, I would think.
These people, for sure. Jon Favreau was born in the same birthplace as everyone. This everyone loves Raymond Lead, Ray Romano.
Yeah, I used to
pretty
watch all of
easy. Right now it's Monet versus Chris. So Ray Romano voices a character alongside this super freaky girl rapper. Like, they're super freaky. Like they put in these things that make it so easy. And
well, if you just said female rapper or woman rapper, girl rapper, however they phrased it, it would isn't there only like one out there like on the floor? You know what I mean? So yeah,
on the floor for sure.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's not like they have like, oh, we have Missy, we have Nikki, we have Cardi. Like, I just wanted more of those red herrings. Anyway.
But like they still did terribly, but like I would have liked them to do terribly because like they mistaken the rapper.
Yeah.
So Nicki Minaj, okay, so Monet gets another clue. So Nicki Minaj had a fan page called NASA Mirage, which was run by JR's relative. I mean, I guess we know who he is, but this is just from process.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I'm not deep in the Lil Nas X fandom to know that happened. But again, it's like only
it feels like something that's like tinkling in like my subconscious. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's something I know about that, but not.
Like, if you know the celebrity, you knew that was the answer. Then it's one of those supporting things. You're like, oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, no, it's definitely them. Then so it's like confirming or supporting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Monet doesn't care about JR's clue. She just wants Chris's clue. It's going to help. Round 5. All right. This Grammy winner famously wore a meat dress in the 2010 VMAs. Very, very famous.
Obvious, yeah.
Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga toured and recorded an album with this 96-year-old jazz singer. Didn't he just pass away?
Just died, yeah.
Which is Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett recorded a song, When Do the Bells Ring for Me, with this well-known Christmas song singer. That's where that Mariah Carey star comes in handy. And Mariah Carey has been known to duet All I Want for Christmas Is You with this Canadian jazz singer. I'm like, of course I know this.
Yeah, I feel like they all knew it too. It's about getting to it. Yeah.
True. So Michael Bublé, but only Monet got it right. And then Michael Bublé enlisted the help of this well-known ballroom dancer to choreograph a music video for his song Higher. Oh, I put Higher, but now I understand. I was like, I read it a bunch of times. I'm like, he said fire? Higher? Like what? But then as I wrote down H-I-R-E, and now I realize it's H-I-G-H-E-R. I was like, oh, higher. Anyways, never mind. Derek Huff, which Chris is probably sweating because like he's going to be giving a clue to the people that have no idea who's his father.
Yeah, and Derek's probably was a dancer for like probably one of the longest people. There's a group of them, and then became a judge. So yeah.
I mean, you always like. I always was like, you want to be partnered with Max, now Val because Val's there too, but Max, Derek, or Mark. Those are the 3 that you wanted to be partnered with if you wanted to win. Yeah. And so
people are voting for them too, even though they're not supposed to be. Yeah.
I mean, they're also the most handsome or like hotties, in my opinion. Gleb is coming on to be pretty hot too, actually. How do you like Gleb?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's what it is about Derek and is the personalities there, and it really like where some people are very like dancers background. There's some people that really like Max, like really shines through. And so if you know Dancing with the Stars at all, you would have known Derek.
For sure. So Monet ended up getting 4 out of 5 correct. So she got 4 clues, including Chris's clue. So Derek Huff rose to fame on Dancing with the Stars, was featured was a featured dance on season 9, which Chris's relative won. So you kind of alluded to this clue before, being like, it's like literally
like who won season 9? But again, if you know who the person is, you can be like, oh yeah, I know he won, a season. So
yeah. And so Gabriel now is thinking that, like, this after the whole game is done, that he may have to guess JR if he's going to be the guesser, because him and JR ended up being in the bottom 2 because I guess they got the least correct, or they were the worst.
Yeah, I didn't understand, because also Chris got 0, but like, is it because overall he performed better or got more answers right?
I think it must have been more answers right as like a tiebreaker for the bottom 3.
Yeah.
My guess. Monet is sharing the info with JR and Carson. And Monet is like to JR, like, well, do you want to take a shot at Billy Idol? Like, they're just like, she's just like forcing people to guess wrong. Like she's very influential, but she just forces everybody to guess wrong. Like, she wanted Cole to guess wrong. Like, every single person that she's like, you should do this, you should go for it, you should say this one, they've all been wrong. And
I think people are like catching on, though. They're like, I don't know, because like you can only like cry wolf a number of times before people are like, wait a minute.
Well, I don't think she knows the right answer, but like,
no, I don't either. But she like wants other people to test it out for her.
I would be like, sorry, girl. Like, I'm gonna go with what I know here. Like, I don't feel confident in Billy Idol. At all. So JR, we see him talking to Gabe while Chris is eavesdropping. And then Chris goes over and tells Carson that he overheard JR and Gabe talking. And Carson's now a little bit nervous because, like, both of them potentially would be guessing her clue. She has a 50-50 chance with both of them. But she's hoping that if JR goes in, he won't want to guess. He will more likely maybe take a shot at Billy Idol because he's friends with Carson. So that's what she's banking on. And she doesn't want to risk it with Gabriel. Well, or she risked it with Gabriel, hoping that he would go for JR, but she doesn't think that he would take a shot at JR. So he would probably take a shot at her. So she's probably going to hope that JR takes a shot at Billy Idol rather than her.
Yeah.
So Monet wants to get intel in case JR leaves. And so that's when they're talking about all that. And she's like, what other black people are on all that? Like Nick Cannon?
And then it's one of those moments like last time with Joseph and they made his Technicolor Dreamcoat that you're like, oh, and then they're like, like no. And then I think JR was like, no.
No, I'm not. It's not Nick Cannon.
People just shutting the right answers down.
Like, Nick Cannon, like, you'd think it'd be like a light bulb moment, being like,
Nick Cannon and drums?
10 babies?
Nick
drums?
Cannon, 10 babies and drums and
Masked Singer? On all that?
Yeah.
Mariah Carey? Like you would
everything
think that
aligned, but
like,
no.
Like at least having like the memento moment where all the information is coming back to them.
You know these producers are in the back being like, guys, like, what is going on? Like how could they not?
Like, are they okay?
For Nick Cannon and for Donny Osmond. You know they're both like, what
I mean, at this point, the Nick Cannon thing is worse. Because she said his name.
Primetime TV. They've said the name. He's very relevant. He's super, who doesn't know who Nick Cannon is?
He has a baby, twins with Mariah Carey. That's
my 87-year-old's grandfather, very white and British, knows exactly who, doesn't watch anything reality-based, knows exactly who, Nick Cannon is. We've spoken about it before recently.
Really? That's wild.
Absolutely. So, like, how could you not? I mean, it just blows my mind.
He's a Libra. I know.
Blows my mind. And then to say the name, you're right. It's even worse to say the name and then just to shut it down. Wow. The producers must be dying over this. I love it.
I was shocked. Like, especially because it seems like they both watched all that. Okay, guys. I mean, I guess like in the very first episode, they did put in the clip where Gabriel was saying like, it's really good that I don't look anything like my celebrity relative. I think the fact that they don't really look alike is what's the saving grace here, because like
And they spent so much time in their head being like NFL,
football.
NFL,
Yeah,
NFL,
yeah.
NFL, that I think they really haven't shaken that. Even if they question it verbally, I still think in their head they're picturing someone who would be in the
Completely
NFL.
different.
They're picturing like, well, if he's an actor, maybe he's like, didn't they say like maybe he was an actor first and then went into the NFL? Like,
Yeah, they're trying to make like Gabriel's very obvious lie like canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the producers must be like, I can't believe we got this bag of goofs. So Joseph says, I wonder if some of these guesses make the producers just laugh. Like, how can you not laugh, especially Billy Idol last week? I think I would have laughed at Sir Elton John. Just like, what? Chris? Anyway, so JR apologizes to Chris, so we got our nice little button moment of our bros making up, and he says that his feelings were hurt, and this is where I felt that they have a real friendship, so I thought it was sweet. Chris now is thinking that maybe Monet is related to Jaleel White. Family Matters. I'm like, I could maybe see that. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I feel like
it's closer to that, right. Like he is to Elton John. Like
I was just shocked Chris knew who Jaleel White was. So like I was shocked by that. I was like, okay, all right, that's a decent guess as well. So.
Well, I mean, it could be that we just didn't see speculation along Family Matters, because like that whole family, the family is everything thing on the board. I think they probably have said like, oh, who's that guy that I did I do that? Who's that? Like they probably had a conversation for him to know that. That's my take, because like he doesn't know anything.
I was very surprised. Yeah.
All right, and so then JR, Carson, and Monet are at the well trying to figure out Chris's clue. And so then we go to the guess-off at the photo booth. We see Carson in the photo booth. She picks JR. Chris picks Gabriel. Monet picks, I'm assuming she's going to pick JR with the hopes that he will guess Billy Idol for Chris's clue. All right, so I meant to set this up, but I didn't. So let's do this, because I know I only have 5 more minutes with you. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm good for about 7 minutes, but I watched up into the point where we have our guesser, and then they've picked who they want to guess, but I haven't watched more than that.
Okay, we'll just get this going. We're going to have to sit through a commercial, which is going to
work. You haven't gotten anywhere.
You must correctly guess Chris's celebrity relative's identity.
I mean, I guess he could be also spooked because he totally thought it was Jeff Gordon, but like the other ones are a lot. Like if Monet gave her, maybe Monet was projecting Carson, but if Monet gave him the clue for Carson, like maybe then that would like the and his father, like he would guess the Dale Earnhardt Jr. But
in order to stay here at Claim to Fame,
I love
your claim to fame is.
What is he gonna say?
I think he's going to say Billy Idol. I would guess.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Billy Idol.
Oh my God. No, we knew it.
Well. He's like, Chris is just like, what? Like, okay, Jonathan, if you have to leave, I'll just
no, it's fine. I don't watch it. We're good for a couple minutes, but it's watching like a train wreck happen that is going to happen in slow motion is what it's like right now. You're like,
JR, let's see if you're right.
It's so embarrassing.
And JR's person is like easy for everyone else to know, like as a so it's kind of stuck to his mind.
Duh!
Every time. Y'all try it every time.
Damn it. I feel like they can't be serious. Damn it. Like it was just so obvious that it's not Billy Idol. Damn it. Drat. We didn't get it again. But like
if it wasn't for you pesky kids, no, it's like
What's that from?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think Gabriel deserves to win. Chris, like, he maybe second just because of the fact that, like, I can't credit Carson and even Monet for these bad guesses.
Away the claim to fame champion.
But at least
and the finale is coming so fast.
At least Monet
forcing
has
people
like
out.
played the game socially, more strategically. She just doesn't have the information. Whereas Chris, I think, is like put himself in these bad positions where Monet's never been in that position where someone's trying to get her out. So that speaks to the social strategy of this game. So I would go Gabe, but like I think Gabriel is she's probably playing the best game, but I think I want Gabriel, then Monet, and then Chris, and then Carson last is my own personal preference of who wins.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's actually my personal preference as well. But just like the fact though that like Monet just, I mean, maybe I'll just take it as strategy that Monet is forcing people to make these bad decisions.
Yeah, I think it is though some of it, but she doesn't have the
You know
answers.
what we say,
But none of
keep
them
your
do.
eyes.
He's like claimed to fame's like villain without being without them really having a villain, but he's like the villain of season 2, and they never win, you know, for the most part. So
Chris isn't gonna win. They are stupid. He's coming across cocky. I mean, like, I'd be pretty cocky if they guessed 3 times and they had all the information and be
So
like, "Oh my
I'd
god,
like,
you guys
come
are
and
ding dongs."
get me, yeah. I know. It's just I think he'd be cockier if he knew who they were and he had like good wealth of knowledge, which he doesn't. But
Why doesn't anyone like Carson? I'm just annoyed that.
do you like Carson?
Do you?
No, I was
don't.
asking
This
Johnson
person,
over here.
R.
I got it.
Johnson.
Do you like Carson?
No
I mean,
new
out of
episode
everyone
next week. What?
Oh,
That's
wait,
stupid.
what episode number was this? 8. So we have 2 more left.
Mm-hmm.
No, not next week.
Brutal. Wait, the 20th is a 3-hour finale? Oh.
Oh, so like kind of 2. Everything's
So
all
maybe
back.
should we watch it together online and just talk about it as we watch and then like pause and stuff? Maybe we'll figure out something.
We could do that.
That's
yeah.
kind of fun.
Or maybe even like if we don't want to do all of it, maybe just the second half of it or something. Like, because I'm sure they'll break it out. Like they'll have like a full episode probably, and then the finale. I don't know.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyways, yeah, exactly. Carson is just kind of there. I'm just like annoyed that they are afraid to guess her, and they're keeping her in the game when she doesn't really offer that much, in my personal opinion.
She gives a little. I don't dislike her at all, but she gives a little Debbie Downer energy to me. There's a little tiny bit, little tiny.
I would not be happy or satisfied with her winning. I'd be happy with anybody else winning over her at this point. I agree with your order.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm just a little bit mad at Monet for not being able to get it. So I just kind of want to punish her a little bit. But like, I do want her to win second. Gabriel first, Monet second, Chris third, Carson fourth. Yeah. That's the order that I want. That's also the order I hope that they go out in. So that's all we've got for you. Jonathan, do you have anything else to say this week?
Nope, but I need to
get out of here.
Get at all because I'm in the middle of working. So I will leave you all. But yeah, it was fun and it was a fun episode. And this season has kept me very entertained. And we're 8 episodes in, and like it's good. It's good. So I'm looking forward to the finale in a couple weeks.
Yes. Okay. Well, bye, Jonathan. I'll say goodbye to everybody so you can pop out if you'd like. Ciao to you, and thank you everybody in the chat here. You guys are amazing. You guys are really fun. You guys have been on this ride and journey. Jonathan, do you want me to kick you out?
No, I can stay. Like, are you gonna be 60 seconds or
less?
Oh
no, I'm just gonna say bye. Okay, well, then please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave us your final guesses. I think we know who everybody's person is at this point. Give your thoughts, give your order and rankings, all that jazz, and maybe give us some suggestions on how we should cover the finale. So should we watch it together, but like not air it so I don't get like a copyright strike? We'll just like watch and talk it together, and then pause it and talk about who's going to go home. I don't know. Give us some suggestions and some ideas, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks for being here with us, everybody.